Navy Lieutenant Jake Harrison sat alone in the quiet room full of screens and blinking lights. For 8 hours straight, he had listened to nothing but static through his headset. The Mars Orbital Defense Station was usually boring, and today was no different. His shift was almost over when a weak voice broke through the static. "Please, anyone. Terran Alliance. Under attack." Jake jumped in his seat. The voice wasn't human, but it spoke in clear galactic standard. His fingers moved quickly across the glowing control panel to make the signal stronger. "This is Lieutenant Harrison of the Terran Alliance Defense Network. Who are you and what's happening?" "Extendary Research Colony. Sector 7. Pirates. They're killing everyone." Then the voice disappeared into static. Jake immediately called his boss, Captain Olivia Wright. Within minutes, all emergency systems were active, and people rushed through the station halls. "How did they even know to contact us?" Captain Wright asked while looking at the message data. "The Extendary live 15 light-years outside our space. We've never officially met them. They asked for the Terran Alliance by name, ma'am," Jake said. "Whoever they are, they know about us." Captain Wright's face grew serious. "And they're about to learn what happens when someone attacks innocent people who call us for help." What the Extendary and their attackers didn't know was that humans were known as Deathworlders by other space-traveling species. Humans had evolved on a planet with stronger gravity, thicker air, and more dangerous animals than most other intelligent life forms could handle. Captain Wright walked to the main communication screen and pressed the emergency button. Her face appeared on screens throughout the human fleet. "All ships, this is Captain Wright from Mars Defense. We have received a distress call from non-human intelligence under attack by pirates." The voice asked for human help specifically. "I am sending all data now. This is not a drill." On the bridge of the battleship HMS Valiant Captain Greg Simmons received the message. He turned to his crew. "Set course for these coordinates. Maximum speed. Alert all combat teams." Across human space, the same scene played out on dozens of ships. Engines fired up. Weapons systems came online. Medical bays prepared for possible injured aliens. Back at the station, Jake kept trying to reach the Extendary again. "This is Mars Defense Station. Extendary Colony, please respond. Help is coming. I repeat, help is coming." Only static answered him. Captain Wright watched from her command chair as the first ships jumped to faster-than-light speed, heading toward the distress call. "Do you think we'll be in time?" Jake asked quietly. "I don't know," she answered honestly. "But whoever sent that call knew exactly what they were doing when they called humans specifically." Jake looked at the star map, showing the massive human fleet moving toward one small dot at the edge of known space. Why would they call us and not their own neighbors or the Galactic Council? He wondered. Captain Wright had a grim smile on her face. "Because sometimes you don't need diplomats or traitors. Sometimes you need the scary species that everyone else in the galaxy tries to avoid." The first human battle fleet was on its way. The pirates who had attacked the Extendary were about to learn why humans had earned their fearsome reputation among the stars. Admiral Frank Donovan stood tall on the bridge of the massive warship HSS Indomitable Through the large window in front of him, he watched as more ships appeared from all directions. 5 heavy cruisers, 12 destroyers, and his own ship, the biggest warship humans had ever built. "All ships report ready, sir," said Communications Officer Susan Miller from her station. "Good," Donovan nodded, his face serious. "Set course for the Extendary Colony." Lieutenant Eric Nelson, the weapons officer, walked up with a data tablet. "Sir, we don't know much about this area of space. The Extendary aren't in our records, and we might meet several new alien species at once, including whoever is attacking them," Donovan added. "Tell all ships to follow first contact rules, but keep weapons ready. We're answering a call for help, not going on a friendly visit." The ship's AI, Diana, appeared as a glowing blue figure next to the Admiral. "I've studied the distress call. From the way they speak, The Xindari seem to be peaceful researchers. Their technology suggests they can't fight off organized raiders. And they called us, Donovan said thoughtfully. Not the Galactic Council, not their neighbors. They call humans, the species that 3/4 of the galaxy thinks is too dangerous to talk to. It seems our reputation has spread, sir, Diana suggested. Admiral Donovan's mouth formed a small smile. Then we shouldn't disappoint them. In the ship's gym, Marines practiced combat moves in higher gravity than normal. If they needed to fight aboard the alien station, their bodies would be ready. Marine Captain Sam Rivera watched his team train. Faster. On a real mission, you won't have time to think. Lieutenant Kelly Adams approached him. Sir, the briefing package just arrived from command. We're looking at possible rescue operations in unknown gravity with possible civilian casualties. Any info on the attackers? Sam asked. Nothing solid. Could be pirates, could be rival aliens, Kelly replied. But command thinks they didn't expect humans to show up. Good, Sam nodded. Surprise is always helpful. Back on the bridge, Admiral Donovan called a meeting with his top officers. Around the table sat Captain Olivia Wright, now transferred from Mars Station, Lieutenant Eric Nelson, Medical Chief Laura Peterson, and Science Officer Ryan Cooper. Here's what we know, Donovan began. An alien research station is under attack. They called us specifically. We jump into their system in 1 hour. Medical is prepared for possible alien physiology, Laura reported. We've studied all known spacefaring species and have universal treatment protocols ready. Weapons and shields at full capacity, Eric added. We can disable attacker ships without destroying them if needed. Science Officer Cooper looked up from his tablet. Sir, I've been studying the signal pattern from the distress call. There's something unusual about it. The transmission reached us much faster than standard communications should allow across that distance. Everyone looked at him with surprise. Are you saying they have some kind of advanced communication technology? Captain Wright asked. It's possible. Cooper nodded. Which might explain why they're being attacked, and why they called the species with the strongest military in the sector. Admiral Donovan looked around at his officers. Whatever we find there, remember this. Someone reached out to humanity for help. We will not let them down. Throughout the fleet, similar scenes played out. Weapon systems came online. Medical bays prepared for casualties. Engineering teams ran final checks on engines and shields. The massive engines of the human warships glowed bright blue. In perfect formation, the fleet disappeared in flashes of light, jumping to faster-than-light speed. The Deathworlders were coming. The human fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Xindari system. What they saw made everyone on the bridge of the Indomitable Asterisk go quiet. 3 large, ugly ships surrounded a small space station. The station had holes blown in its sides, and pieces of metal floated around it like trash. Any life signs? Admiral Donovan asked quickly. Weak life readings from the station, reported Medical Officer Laura Peterson. Multiple different species. Some match what we think are Xindari. They're dying. Sir, what about the attacking ships? Energy readings suggest Krell technology. Diana, the AI, announced. They're known for taking slaves and harvesting organs from other species. Donovan's face hardened. Open communications. All channels. Translation systems on. Channel open. Sir, Susan confirmed. Attention unknown vessels. This is Admiral Frank Donovan of the Terran Alliance. You are attacking civilians who have asked for our protection. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded, or we will open fire. The answer came in broken standard language, the translator struggling with the harsh sounds. Human vessels, this not your territory. Leave now or be destroyed. Donovan looked at his officers. They know who we are, but they're not scared enough. Let's fix that. Tactical, target their engines with small lasers, just enough to get their attention. Eric nodded and sent the order. Seconds later, thin beams of bright light shot across space, cutting neat lines into the raiders' engines. Their shields didn't even detect our targeting systems, Eric said with surprise. These aren't military ships, sir. They're equipped to attack helpless colonies, not fight real warships. Send Marines to the station to rescue survivors, Donovan ordered. And prepare boarding teams. I want prisoners. On the main deck of the HMS Valiant Asterisk, Marine Captain Sam Rivera addressed his rescue team. Listen up. We're going into an unknown situation with alien civilians in danger. Standard rescue protocol. Medics in the middle, security teams on point and rear. Unknown hostiles may still be on the station. Marine Sergeant Alicia Reyes checked her weapon. What do we know about these Sindari, sir? Almost nothing, Sam admitted. Our xenobiologists think they might be insect-like based on voice analysis from the distress call. Stay sharp and remember they called us for help. The Marines boarded their shuttle and launched toward the damaged station. Through the shuttle windows, they could see the human fleet surrounding the 3 raider ships. 2 raiders were already disabled, drifting helplessly in space. The 3rd and largest raider tried to run. It didn't get far. The cruiser HMS Valiant Asterisk moved into position and fired a clean shot that cut off the ship's main engine. Now all 3 raiders were trapped. As the Marine shuttle approached the station, they got their first clear view of the damage. Large sections were exposed to space. Bodies floated among the debris. Small, delicate forms with 4 arms and what looked like wings. My God, whispered Medic Joe Carter. It's a massacre. Captain Rivera's face was grim behind his helmet. This is why they called humans. Because sometimes you need someone willing to do what needs to be done. The shuttle docked with the damaged station. Sam stood at the airlock, checking the seal. Atmosphere is thin but breathable. Keep helmets on anyway until we secure the area. Weapons ready, but remember, we're here to save lives first. The airlock opened with a hiss. The Marines stepped into the alien station, weapons raised, moving in perfect formation through the dark, damaged corridors. They had no idea that what they would find inside would change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. Marine Captain Sam Rivera led his team deeper into the damaged space station. The gravity was lighter than Earth's, making each step feel bouncy despite their heavy armor. The air was thin but breathable. Their helmet lights cut through the darkness, showing signs of battle everywhere. Burned walls, broken equipment, and many dead aliens. Switch to heat vision, Sam ordered his squad. Look for survivors. The Marines moved carefully through the quiet halls. Their training on Earth, with its stronger gravity and denser atmosphere, made them incredibly strong and fast in this environment. Captain, over here, called Sergeant Alicia Reyes. I found one alive. Sam rushed over. Lying against a wall was a thin, insect-like alien with 4 arms and shiny, colorful skin. Dark liquid, probably blood, leaked from a wound in its chest. Sam knelt beside the alien, his helmet automatically checking its vital signs. Can you understand me? The Xindari's large, compound eyes focused on him. Human, you came. Its voice was weak, but filled with what sounded like wonder. We received your call for help, Sam explained, as Medic Joe Carter applied a special bandage to the alien's wound. Why did you call humans specifically? Stories of the Deathworlders. Humans fight like nothing else in galaxy. We needed warriors. Joe worked quickly to help the alien. Captain, I think they'll live, but we need to get them to our medical bay quickly. The data. The Xindari whispered, one delicate hand grabbing Sam's armor with surprising strength. You must protect our research. It's why they attacked. What research? Sam asked. Instant communication. Across any distance. We finished prototype when Krell attacked. Sam's eyes widened inside his helmet. If the Xindari had created technology for instant communication across the galaxy, it would change everything. Current systems had delays, even with faster-than-light travel. We'll find your research, he promised, and we'll protect your people. Sam turned to his team. Jones, Garcia, escort this survivor to the shuttle. Everyone else, keep searching for more survivors and find their research lab. As the team moved deeper into the station, they found more Xindari still alive, hiding in sealed rooms or emergency shelters. Most were scientists, not fighters. They had slim bodies with 4 arms and wings that looked too delicate for flight in normal gravity. Lieutenant Ben Foster discovered the main research lab. Inside, strange equipment hummed despite the damage to the rest of the station. "Captain, I think we found it," he called over the radio. Sam entered the lab where several Marines were helping injured Xindari scientists. One alien stood shakily by a control panel. "I am Chief Researcher Zixtal," the alien said, voice clearer than the first one they had found. "You are the humans we called." "Yes," Sam nodded. "My name is Captain Rivera of the Terran Alliance Marine Corps. We're here to help." Zixtal's 4 hands moved gracefully over the controls. A small device in the center of the room began to glow with blue light. "This is what the Krell came for," Zixtal explained. "Our quantum communicator. It allows instant communication, regardless of distance. No delay, no signal loss." Science Officer Peter Wu examined the device with amazement. "Our scientists have only dreamed of such technology. This could revolutionize everything: defense networks, colony communications, emergency response." Zixtal's compound eyes studied the humans. "This is why we called you. The Galactic Council ignored our warnings about Krell raiders. Our neighboring systems lack the military strength to protect us. But humans, we have a reputation," Sam said simply. "Yes," Zixtal agreed. "Throughout the galaxy, humans are known as the species from the Deathworld. Stronger, faster, more aggressive than most. Dangerous. But also," the alien paused, searching for the right word, "protective of those who cannot protect themselves." Sam's radio crackled. "Captain, this is Admiral Donovan. What's your status?" "Sir, we found numerous survivors and secured their research. You're going to want to see this yourself. It's going to change everything." The Krell raiders had never expected to fight a human battle fleet. By the time they realized the danger, 2 of their ships were already disabled and their crews captured by human boarding teams. The 3rd and largest raider ship tried to escape. It didn't get far. "Target locked," announced Lieutenant Eric Nelson from his weapons station on the Indomitable's bridge. "Disable only," ordered Admiral Donovan. "I want their leaders alive." The cruiser HSS Valiant moved into position and fired a perfect shot that cut off the fleeing ship's main engine. Now helpless, the raider ship drifted in space. Meanwhile, on the Krell command ship, a boarding team led by Lieutenant Kelly Adams secured the bridge. The Krell were large, reptile-like aliens with thick scales and sharp teeth. They looked fierce but surrendered quickly when faced with human Marines. "Secure the prisoners," Kelly ordered. "Search the ship for any Xindari captives." The Krell captain, a massive specimen with red scales, hissed at Kelly. "You fools. You don't know what you're protecting." "Enlighten me," Kelly said coldly, keeping her weapon aimed at the alien. "The Xindari technology upsets the balance of power. The Galactic Council paid us to eliminate it." Kelly's eyes narrowed. "You're saying the Council hired you to attack a research station and kill innocent scientists?" The Krell captain laughed, a harsh sound. "There are no innocents in galactic politics, human. The Council controls all major technological advances. They decide who gets what. The Xindari bypassed that system. So they called us," Kelly realized. "Because we're not part of the Council either." Back on the station, Admiral Donovan had arrived to see the Xindari technology himself. Chief Researcher Zixtal demonstrated the device. "Current communication across star systems has delays," Zixtal explained. "But our quantum communicator has none. Watch." The alien activated the device. A screen lit up showing another Xindari on what appeared to be their home world, thousands of light years away. "Real-time communication," Science Officer Peter Wu whispered in awe. No delay at all. Admiral Donovan understood immediately why this technology was so valuable. With this, a fleet could coordinate attacks and defense across entire sectors instantly. Colonies could call for help without waiting days for messages to reach the nearest outpost. Yes, Zixtal agreed. And why the Council wanted it destroyed. They control the current communication network. This would make their system obsolete. Donovan's communicator buzzed. Admiral, this is Lieutenant Adams. We've captured the Krell leaders. They claimed they were hired by the Galactic Council to destroy the Xindari research. The human officers exchanged shocked looks. So much for peaceful cooperation, Donovan said grimly. The Council would rather kill innocent researchers than allow technology to advance outside their control. Zixtal's four hands moved nervously. What will happen now? The Krell are defeated, but the Council will send others. Donovan looked at the alien scientist, then at the human Marines and officers who had risked their lives to save the Xindari. He made his decision. The Terran Alliance offers the Xindari protection. We will help rebuild your station and station a permanent defense force here. The Council will see this as aggression, Captain Wright warned. The Council ordered the massacre of civilians, Donovan replied firmly. They chose their path. Now we choose ours. He turned back to Zixtal. If your people agree, we propose a technological alliance. Your communication breakthrough combined with our military strength. The Xindari's compound eyes seemed to shine. When we sent our distress call to Earth, we hoped for rescue. We never expected to find true allies. As they spoke, the ship's sensors detected new energy signatures at the edge of the system. Sir, reported Susan from communications, long-range sensors show a Galactic Council diplomatic vessel entering the system. Donovan's expression hardened. It seems we're about to have our first official meeting with the Galactic Council. Let's make sure they understand exactly who they're dealing with. The Council ship was sleek and beautiful, clearly built to impress rather than fight. It docked with the indomitable asterisk under the watchful eyes of human gunners. In the ship's main meeting room, Admiral Donovan waited with Captain Wright, Captain Rivera, and Dr. Laura Peterson. Chief Researcher Zixtal sat beside them, still weak, but insisting on being present. The doors opened to reveal three alien visitors, a tall, thin being with glowing skin, a stocky, lizard-like creature with fancy armor, and a floating, jelly-like entity inside a mechanical bubble. I am High Consul Vreenak of the Galactic Council, announced the tall, glowing alien. This is Warlord Katoth of the Draxian Empire and Consciousness Bloom of the Myriad Collective. Admiral Donovan stood tall. I am Admiral Frank Donovan of the Terran Alliance. We responded to a distress call from the Xindari research station. Yes, we have heard, Vreenak said coolly. You must understand our concern when an unaligned Deathworld species sends a battle fleet into disputed space. Unaligned. Donovan raised an eyebrow. The Terran Alliance has tried many times to establish diplomatic contact with your council. You have ignored all our messages. The floating jelly-like alien, Bloom, pulsed with light patterns. Your species is considered dangerous, unpredictable. Your evolution on a high-gravity, high-oxygen world with many predators has made you physically stronger and mentally more aggressive than most other species. Zixtal spoke up, voice still weak. And yet when we were dying, when the Krell were killing our people and stealing our research, the Council ships were nowhere to be found. The humans came within hours of our call. Warlord Katoth growled. The Krell are scum, but they serve a purpose in maintaining technological balance. Your research into instant communication threatens established power structures. Dr. Peterson leaned forward. Are you saying the Council approves of piracy and murder to control technology? We are saying, Vreenak carefully replied, that certain technologies must be managed carefully for the stability of galactic civilization. The room was silent for a moment. Admiral Donovan's face showed no emotion, but his voice was as hard as steel when he spoke. Let me be very clear. The Xindari asked for our help. We provided it. They are now under the protection of the Terran Alliance. Their research will continue under our security. If the Council wishes to discuss peaceful cooperation and perhaps finally offering membership to humanity, we are open to those conversations. If not, this meeting is over. The Council aliens looked at each other with various emotions: surprise, anger, calculation. Perhaps, Bloom pulsed slowly, we have misunderstood the human capacity for protection rather than conquest. The Xindari quantum communicator is revolutionary, Vreenak admitted, but uncontrolled release of such technology could disrupt trade routes, defense systems, even the Council itself. Then perhaps the Council needs to change, Donovan suggested. Technology should help all species, not just those in power. Kitov slammed his fist on the table. You speak of things you do not understand, human. Our Council has maintained peace for 1,000 years by carefully controlling technological advancement. At what cost? Captain Rivera asked quietly. How many Xindari died because they dared to innovate outside your control? The massive lizard-like alien had no answer. Zixtol's forehands formed a complex gesture. We called the humans because legends say they value freedom and protection above control. It seems the legends were true. Vreenak studied the humans carefully. You truly do not understand what you are involving yourselves in. The galactic balance of power has just changed, Donovan finished for him. Humanity is now allied with the Xindari. We will share technology, culture, and defense. The Council can join us as equals or continue to treat us as outsiders. The choice is yours. The Council representatives looked at each other again, this time with uncertainty. We will consider your position, Vreenak finally said. This situation requires discussion with the full Council. As the aliens turned to leave, Bloom's mechanical bubble floated closer to Donovan. Be careful, Admiral, the jelly-like being whispered. Not all on the Council share Vreenak's flexibility. Some will see humans as a threat that must be eliminated. They can try, Donovan replied calmly. 6 months after the Xindari incident, the Terran Alliance Embassy on the Galactic Council's central station was officially opened. Admiral Donovan, now serving as Earth's first ambassador, stood beside Captain Sam Rivera, who commanded the embassy's Marine Guard. Did you ever think we'd be here? Sam asked, watching representatives from 50 alien species mingle in the Grand Hall. Not like this, Donovan admitted. I expected we'd have to fight our way to recognition. Instead, we just had to answer a call for help. Sam nodded toward Zixtol, now fully recovered and serving as the Xindari ambassador. The insect-like alien was explaining something to a group of fascinated Council scientists. The quantum communication network is already changing everything, Donovan said. Real-time talks between worlds hundreds of light years apart. And the Xindari made sure we got equal credit for protecting and developing the technology. Through the huge windows of the hall, they could see Earth's first official starbase being built nearby, a joint project between humans and 5 other species. High Consul Vreenak approached them. Ambassador Donovan, Captain Rivera. I must admit, when the Xindari sent their distress call specifically to Earth, many on the Council feared it would lead to human military expansion. And now, Donovan asked, now we understand that Deathworlders have qualities we had not fully appreciated. Loyalty, protective instincts, willingness to risk yourselves for others. Vreenak made a respectful gesture. These are traits the Council has come to value. Sam watched as human officers and engineers talked with aliens of all kinds, sharing ideas, building connections. The Xindari incident had changed humanity's place in the galaxy not through war, but through a simple response to one desperate call. You know, he said quietly to Donovan, when we answered that SOS, we had no idea we'd end up here. That's the thing about humans, Donovan replied with a smile. We're at our best when someone needs help. Even the Council is figuring that out. In another part of the hall, Dr. Laura Peterson was examining a wounded Draxian child who had been brought to her. The human doctor's gentle hands worked carefully on the alien's injured limb. "There," she said, applying a healing patch to the scaly skin. "Good as new." The Draxian parent looked at Laura with all four eyes. "The stories say humans are dangerous warriors." "We can be," Laura smiled. "But we're also healers, builders, explorers. We're whatever we need to be to help." Near the main entrance, a communications officer approached Admiral Donovan urgently. "Ambassador, we're receiving a distress call from the Myriad colony in Sector 9. They're requesting immediate assistance." "From us specifically?" Donovan asked, straightening his uniform. "Yes, sir. They asked for the Deathworlders by name." Donovan and Rivera exchanged a knowing look. "Tell them we're on our way." Outside the station, the human fleet, now joined by Xindari and several other allied ships, prepared to respond. Since the incident 6 months ago, 5 more distress calls had come directly to Earth. Each time, the human fleet had responded. Each time, more aliens had learned that the feared Deathworlders were the ones you called when you needed protection. As Captain Rivera boarded his ship, a young lieutenant asked him, "Sir, why do they keep calling us?" "There are closer ships from other species." Rivera smiled. "Because when you're in real trouble, you don't call the closest help. You call the most effective help." The human fleet jumped to faster than light speed, heading toward yet another call for aid. One SOS call had changed everything, not just for the Xindari, but for humanity's place among the stars. The Deathworlders had found their true purpose in the galaxy, not conquest, but protection.